Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip: use the 7-hour rule to squeeze the most joy out of your free time. An expert opinion by Jessica Stillman. As a business leader, you probably spend plenty of time thinking about how to squeeze more out of your company. Is there a tweak to hiring, execution, or branding that will move the needle on your success? It makes sense to think that way, but according to research from Harvard University, you shouldn't just think strategically about how to maximize the impact of your working hours. You should also think about how to maximize the amount of joy you can squeeze out of your free time. What you do in your free time matters more than you think. Before I explain the 7-hour rule, let me try to convince you that how you spend your leisure hours matters a whole lot more than you think, and not just for your mental health and all-around happiness, but also for your work performance and success. Take the example of British Olympic diver Tom Daley. A young phenom, he began competing and placing in Olympic Games in 2008. What does he credit with finally pushing his performance into gold-winning territory in 2021? Not a new coach, technique, or supplement. Instead, what did it was taking up a new hobby. He said, "The fact you only get one opportunity every 4 years is super intense, which is why knitting really helped. It took the stress out of it. I honestly think I owe the Olympic gold to knitting." That might sound adorably quirky, but it's far from an unusual story. A variety of high achievers, from Michelle Obama to various CEOs, insist their hobbies not only keep them sane, but are actually essential to their success. Why should you fill your free time with hobbies? Research backs it up. One study out of San Francisco State University showed that the more hobbies a person has, the better they tend to perform at work. Psychologists point to a number of reasons for the link. First, our pastimes give us another identity and additional accomplishments outside work. That means when we struggle professionally, we have other areas to prop up our self-esteem. The result is greater resilience. That is probably what Daley was talking about when he says knitting took the stress out of diving and helped him further level up his performance. Pushing yourself to get better at some outside passion also helps keep your brain sharp, according to neurologists. It's more relaxing than you expect to. A whole body of counterintuitive research shows that the mastery experiences, activities that push us to learn and grow, leave us more refreshed than sitting around on the couch watching Netflix. Finally, studies show creative pursuits, even if you do them badly and just for fun, are one of the best ways to calm your mind and reduce stress. If you do them with other people, the effects are even stronger. All of this evidence suggests if you want to perform at your peak, you need to be strategic about how you use your free time. And that means getting a hobby. I can hear some of you objecting already. You are too busy for a hobby, right? Well, science has an answer for you. The 7-hour rule, first popularized as a sales and marketing concept explaining customer engagement. The same principles apply to the benefits of hobbies outside of work. I discovered the research underlying the rule in a recent article in HBR by Harvard researchers Leslie Perlow and Sari Menster and Salvatore Affinito, a management professor at NYU. The piece is a deep dive into a topic close to many entrepreneurs' hearts: how to find time for joy in your life, even when you're super busy. It includes lots of great tips, but one chart stood out. It was a line graph representing the author's findings on how much pleasure people got out of each additional hour dedicated to their hobbies. Starting from 0 hours, the line slopes steeply upward. But then at around 6-hour mark, the line starts to flatten out and then begins to descend. Clearly, this graph underlines why you should get a hobby, but it also highlights that you don't need to spend huge amounts of time on it. In fact, if your goal is joy, being obsessive about your activities outside work generally backfires. The author's summation says, the more time someone dedicates to one leisure pursuit, the less joy it delivers. In fact, there's a tipping point. Spending too many hours on an activity can start to diminish its benefit altogether. Think of this as the 7-hour rule. To maximize the amount of pleasure and benefit you squeeze from your free time, aim to engage in 7 hours of your preferred passion a week. So, no excuses. Get a hobby. Why is this rule worth sharing? Because it underlines 2 key facts. 1, how you spend your free time matters, and sitting around scrolling through your phone doesn't cut it. For maximum benefit, you need an actual hobby. Not only will it make you a happier person, it will make you less stressed, more resilient, and more successful one too. And 2, sorry, but you're not too busy. An hour a day, or a few minutes here and there and a longer session on the weekend, adds up to the ideal number of hours to squeeze the most joy out of your free time. Surely you can aim for that. Your brain will thank you. That's it from Ink. Hopefully you can start applying the 7-hour rule this weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll see you back here on Monday for another tip from Ink.